All right, welcome back to another video with SirLucien on the SirLucien Gaming channel. This was another kind of quick Gen Con video. I just wanted to show you some of the things I picked up that were interesting that I may not have bought, but it might have been something I'm going to look into further and see if I can go ahead and get it. It was things that caught my eye as I walked around the vendor hall, and I thought I would show you guys some of that stuff just in case you missed it. So I want to start off with District 9 board game. This looks very cool to me. They had several of the sets up and running, as you could see there, and they had some painted stuff and some unpainted stuff, and it looks like now you could go and enter. I don't know if this was only valid during Gen Con or if you still can go to that website and enter, but it was Stop Now Win District 9. I really liked the movie. This is from Weta Workshop, as we can see here, and they had a really cool setup that makes me want to take a look at their game. Really high quality materials. The other thing they were doing right next to it was the GKR, which I really like, Giant Killer Robots, and these robots looked really cool as I was watching some of the people play. I really should have got in there to get a demo. I just had my schedule way too busy, and this one down in the corner they had as a really big robot replica that they had up at the booth also. And we can see this is by Cryptozoic Entertainment, also Weta Workshop. It says something about Final Gray Wolf collectible will vary, terms and conditions online. I don't know, again, if you go to these websites, if you can still win stuff, but I don't know. But I just thought at least I'd show you the picture. It was kind of cool. So we'll move that over to the side. Now we have this one that was called, a lot of times I'd look for RPGs, and this one is a Vermin 2047. We didn't just become survivors, we became prey. So this is like a little bookmark I picked up. Vermin 24/7. It was a game by 2047, a game by Julian Blondell, and I actually picked up a full kind of like brochure that they had, and it's a little glossy, so it's going to be a little tough to show on this camera. It was 2047, has a nice little open piece, and it was kind of a thing that you could. I'll try to get it without the gloss, but I was reading it over here in a nutshell on the left-hand side. It said, Vermin is a role-playing game focused on atmosphere, survival, and cooperation, set in 2447 post-apocalyptic Europe. Players take on the roles of survivors in a world devastated by successive epidemics, riots, civil wars, natural disasters. A world in which vermin, such as insects and rats, have replaced humans at the top of the food chain. So the universe's vermin is our own, or what it might become should the primeval forces of nature, sick of pollution, despolation, don't know that word, and the invasive presence of mankind suddenly decide to get rid of a species that has long outstayed its welcome. So it looks like it's, a post-apocalyptic game. Could be interesting. Though it's not a horror game at its core, Vermin is nevertheless intended for mature audiences, so it talks about some more stuff there. You can go to the vermin2047.com website, and it looks like it's done by Studio Agate. Hopefully you're not getting too much gloss on that, but I thought it was an interesting one. At least the brochure grabbed my eye right away, and I'm always looking for more RPGs, and that seemed pretty cool. I was there on Sunday to one of the board games I wanted to get was the Hail Hydra game, and I watched, I was getting ready to GM a game for Monty Cook, and I was sitting outside waiting for the games to finish. That was like the shift before me, and then I was going to be going in. But I've got this, there was a guy next to me, and he had the Hail Hydra box. He was opening it up. It was almost like I was watching my own little box opening session. I talked to him about it, and all the stuff he was showing me was super high quality. It looked like a super fun game that you could play, but I was just impressed with the artwork and what they had. They had a really cool booth. They had the owner was dressed up as one of the characters, and they had another character there, and they were talking, taking pictures, signing things, and they sold out. So by the time I got there on Sunday to pick up my own, they had already sold out, and I'd only be able to buy it online. So there was the Hail Hydra. There was the 5-Minute Marvel, which I think is based off the 5-Minute Dungeon over at the Spin Master Games here, as you can see. And then they had some other things that hopefully the gloss isn't too bad, and we can take a look. Golden Fleece, I saw that game being played. Santorini. 5-Minute Dungeon was very interesting to me. That's another one I really want to look at. Dirty Dough, Cat, Otrio, and Rock Me Archimedes. So some interesting other games that they had over at they were called the Spin Masters. With that, actually, if I grab the thing here, here's 3 of the exclusive cards that we had for the Hail Hydra game. So in the Hail Hydra game, I don't know how it was played, but it looked really cool. Look at that. That's Superior Octopus, Health 10, upgrade, pretty cool villain artwork. And they're made of like a really textured card, very strong, almost like a canvas card or something, like a very durable style of card. We had the Scarlet Witch here, Chaos Magic. I'll try to show you some of that out of the shadows. And then suggested abilities and strategies that for that card. These were special edition cards. And then we had an Agent Coulson card. Come on, super cool. Pick a hero other than yourself to draw 4 cards and attack. And it felt like it was one of those games where somebody in the round is a infiltrator and the rest of the players are normal players, but nobody knows who it is. And it's a game about trying to figure out, I think, who that person is. So if I do ever get an actual copy of it, I do want to order it and get it in and try to play it. I will definitely let you guys know about that. I always like this Dust 1947. I got their catalog, which is cool. There wasn't a lot of people out there with their catalogs, but this was the one that I demoed last year at their table on Sunday, and it was a really fun war game. The models are fantastic. It's kind of like what happened if World War II didn't end. And just to show you some of the things that they have in here, nicely painted models. This is a company that you can buy unpainted or painted models, so you can get the box sets, and they have different prices. So if you're not very good at painting these kinds of things, you can already get them painted. Obviously, they'll be a little bit more. They've got terrain stuff, they've got vehicles, they've got all the Axis and allies and lots of new units. And typically in this catalog, although I won't go through it too much, they have a lot of the new units that they were releasing for 2018 and that kind of thing. A very fun, quick game to play, very skirmish-based miniatures game. Not necessarily, I think there is an RPG based off of Dust. Was one of the reasons I went and took a look at it, because I'm pretty sure I've seen a Dust RPG. I don't know if it's related to this Dust 1947 or not, but I have seen it out there, and I thought it was a very interesting thing. So I picked up their catalog again. Oh, as I bump everything. Sorry about that. Then I picked up the Campaign Cartographer 3 Pro Fantasy. They had a really good booth that was showing some of the best maps, and some of the maps I've even used online, especially like isometric maps and stuff. So they were really touting some of the new features they had. I'm sorry, it's a little glossy, but it was Campaign Cartographer 3, Fractal Terrains 3, City Designer 3, Dungeon Designer 3, Symbols and Sets, more add-ons. They're a UK company. And obviously you could go ahead and, if you were trying to build maps like I am as a GM, you could build your own maps. And they said that if you were building your maps in this, it was okay then to use those in your streams and on YouTube videos and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And so lots of stuff here. Now, I mean, I think some of it's pricey, but if you got certain pieces of it, you know, that you needed, maybe that could be a way for you to go ahead and make your own maps. Some other stuff I got, some of these would be a little bit smaller. So we've got, I'll try to bring it in a little bit. So we've got Alexander Lapira gave me his card, Raven Desk Games. They had a bunch of cool games that I was looking at. So they, as I bumped the mic, he gave me a cool card. And this is something that you want to do if you're going to Gencon and you're going to be networking with people. Like maybe you're a streamer, you're a YouTuber, or you're a game designer, or you're an artist, and anything where you're going to want to work with other people or just keep in touch with those people. Having a card to hand out is really nice. We had Era of the Ninja, looked really cool. It was Mythical Heirs of War Games, LLC. Eric Ebbs gave me his card, which was pretty cool. I want to take a look at this. This game was really interesting. Great artwork. Fantastic booth. It really drew my eye. We also had Heishio Mayo played a really cool card game with me. He was the lead designer. They're from San Francisco. And it was a kind of a bluff game is what they called it. So it was a card game where you're trying to bluff the matching pairs, and it was about winning cake and winning sets. And they had really cool artwork that was really, really interesting style. Very, very simplistic, but also very creative. So that was pretty cool as my phone rings. Then we had another one. There's another role-play game that I didn't get a chance to purchase, but I wanted to look up a little bit more, which was Eclipse Phase 2nd Edition, role-playing game of Transhuman Survival. That sounded pretty good. I may take a look at this going to their website. So, and then we also had here, yeah, Eclipse Phase 2nd Edition, updated. It has a fast package buy, character creation, streamlined resleeving, updated gameplay, and 4 sample teams. So I definitely wanted to take a look at this and see if it would be a game that I'd like to pick up, because I like to pick up all these games, put them on my shelf. Little Guardians, the comic. This was a really cool booth. And if you haven't seen the comic, you might go check it out, littleguardianscomic.com. And it has great artwork. I got a little book. A lot of people will hand out what I think of as bookmarks. So as you can see here, it had really cool. It reminded me of Penny Arcade, and I think I want to say that maybe it's one of the Penny Arcade guys that did this. Like maybe it's Kurtz. I can't remember. I wish it was on here that it said that. But Family, Destiny, and Kickin' Demon Butt. So that's pretty good. But I think it's... I'd have to look it up again just to be sure. I should have done that before I started the video. Silverwood Chronicles. We have Matthew Gray from here. Handed out some stuff. Again, this was some very interesting information that they had. They also had, I believe they were selling fiction and that kind of stuff. I picked up Glitch Gaming apparel because they had a really cool t-shirt that I wanted, but they were sold out. And it was it was Tiny Tina wearing a t-shirt playing Dungeons and Dragons, but in the game, their version of Dungeons and Dragons, I think, is called Bunkers and something. And I wanted the t-shirt, but they didn't have the right sizes anymore. But on Sunday, it's tough if you go to buy stuff because a lot of times everything's sold out. So I'm gonna have to buy that online. We had Offworld Design, had a bunch of stuff that I took a look at. Things that were pretty cool. Trying to remember some of this stuff. They had the No Flat t-shirts, 20% off. And you can go to the Offworld Designer, best t-shirts in fandom. So they had another big t-shirt booth also. I'm always looking for t-shirts because I like to wear them. Oh, this was not a booth, but this is what I got from Magpie for helping out. They did a postcard and everybody signed on the back. I'll kind of probably keep that to me, which was cool. But then they also gave me this one, which is I love because I love all of the Magpie art and I love the Mass A New Generation. This is some of the best art and some of the best superhero stuff. I talked to Frank Zanka. He was pretty cool. He's not only a fantasy writer, he does sci-fi, but he also built this game called Destiny Aurora. It's a really cool game. As far as I can tell, it was the only game that had the pitch where not only do you do space combats on one board, but you have a second board next to it where you do away missions. So you do stuff in space, you do stuff on away missions, and you're moving crew members from one area to each. And you can play with 4 players, and you can focus. Some of them can be, sent to the surface to do whatever they need to do. Some are still flying the ship to give them cover, that kind of stuff. It was a really cool concept. I played the demo last year and had a lot of fun. It was great, and it's finally out, and you can get it. Jetpack 7, obviously, I've been talking a lot about Jetpack 7. I'm getting an interview with them. I picked up the Gods and Goddesses 5e Supplement Edition book from them, which I love. And they also had a monster manual. I think it was called Masterminds and Minions, or it was something about like higher end kind of bad guys to put in your campaigns. So Jetpack 7, Adventure starts here. I can't wait to talk to them again and get some more information on some of the stuff they've got going on. Anvil Games had a really cool setup and a really cool looking game with a lot of cool miniatures. We stopped in and talked to them quite a bit, and they gave us their little card. And they also had Frontlines, No Comrades was another game that they had at their booth. Then if you want tokens, or if you wanted dice, or you wanted like dice boxes or even coins and things, we saw some really good stuff over at the Broken Token, game accessories, storage solution, box organizers, those kinds of things. They had a lot of cool stuff because I'm always looking for ways to keep things organized. The same with these guys, where the Norse Foundry is where I believe I bought my, these things actually. Oh, Jesus, I bumped this thing. I actually got these from the Norse Foundry. You got a bag, and if you bought 10 of their coins, you could go ahead and you'd get a bag. And so what it has here are these really cool coins. They're super heavy. They're made of metal. They're high quality, and I'm going to give these out to people as I see them, fans and things like that. We stopped, so that's really cool. If you want to go and get some really cool coins, definitely stop over at their website, which is norsefoundry.com, which is pretty cool. And then last week, there was a really cool card game there that I didn't get to play. It was Card Fight Vanguard Project Book. What I liked about it was the artwork that came with it, and they had a really nice booth, and the guy that was behind it was really excited about the game, and just was a real nice person to talk to about their game and how they've been bringing it back and what expansion packs they have and those kinds of things. And it looked really fun, even though I didn't get a chance to play it. I think I'm going to try to get some starter packs and try it out because it looks really fun. I've got my nephew who likes to play the card games and stuff, so we'll be able to try that out. And it was called, I believe it's called Vanguard, so really neat. So I just thought those are some cool things I got at Gencon that I thought was really fun. I thought I would show you guys. I figured I'd get one more video out before the night went by, and I would show you those things. Keep an eye out on the channel. I'm going to be bringing more stuff, more interviews, more games that we're going to be streaming. We got some stuff in the works as far as role-playing games that we're going to be playing. And keep an eye out for our Saturday morning D&D show where we talk about all things RPG and Dungeons & Dragons and all the stuff that we're doing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. Go to Twitch, go to YouTube, go to Twitter at SirLucien Gaming, all one word. Twitch is twitch.tv/SirLucien, and YouTube, obviously, if you're here, youtube.com/SirLucien. Thanks for coming around, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.